Hey there, and welcome to my channel. I'm Alec Wasserman, and today we're going to be covering the 4 music jobs in the United States Army. For those who are unfamiliar, every soldier in the U.S. Army has a specific job that they're trained to do. We call this a military occupational specialty, or MOS for short. In this video, I'm going to be outlining some of the basic facts about the 4 different MOSs within the Army Band career field. For context, I'm a musician in the Army National Guard, so I'm letting my experience guide me here. Quick note from the editor here. Pretty much everything that I'm going to go over in this video can be discussed in way greater detail than we have time for today. So if you have a question, either leave a comment and I'll be happy to answer, or check out my older video, Military Bands Explained. You might have the answer. The first Army band job is known, not surprisingly, as a musician, or MOS 42 Romeo. This is my MOS. 42 Romeos make up the vast majority of band soldiers in the Army, and their main purpose is to perform music for the general public, for other service members, and for diplomatic missions as well. The types of music they perform can include rock, pop, jazz, concert band, marching band, country, and other styles. 42 Romeos are instrumentalists and vocalists. While they can conduct an ensemble in certain circumstances, that is not usually their main focus. 42 Romeo is an enlisted MOS, meaning that musicians are regular soldiers requiring a high school diploma or a GED to join. However, since 42 Romeos have to successfully pass an audition for the MOS, we get to enter the Army at the rank of specialist, or the E4 pay grade. Under normal circumstances, a 42 Romeo can range from the rank of specialist to command sergeant major, or E9. But if you get in trouble, you can have your rank reduced below that of a specialist. And while it's probably theoretically possible for the sergeant major of the Army to be a 42 Romeo, I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. The Army likes to reserve that rank for combat arms MOSs. 42 Romeos attend basic combat training followed by advanced individual training at the U.S. Army School of Music in Virginia Beach. This MOS is available in all 3 Army components: active duty, Army Reserve, and National Guard. That means you can serve as a musician in the Army, part-time or full-time. The other enlisted Army Band MOS is 42 Sierra, or Special Band Musician. So what is a special band? There are 4 active duty Army units that are designated as such: the U.S. Army Band, Pershing Zone, the U.S. Army Field Band, the West Point Band, and the U.S. Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. Each of these units has a specific musical mission that they fulfill, so the entrance audition standard is extremely high. The musical styles that these units play are similar to that of the other Army bands, but with a couple exceptions. The Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps focuses almost exclusively on historical performance and ceremonial music, while Pershing Zone and the Field Band have string sections which give them the ability to play orchestral rep or chamber music. Being an enlisted MOS, 42 Sierra is similar to 42 Romeo in that you need a high school diploma or a GED to join, as well as a successful audition. The difference is that auditioning for 42 Sierra slots is even more competitive, on par with auditioning for major civilian orchestras. 42 Sierras only go to basic combat training and do not have advanced individual training. When a 42 Sierra is at basic, they will hold the rank of specialist. However, when they graduate from basic and go to their unit, they're promoted to Staff Sergeant, or E6. So they effectively range in rank from Staff Sergeant to Command Sergeant Major. And again, there are only 4 special bands in the U.S. Army, and they're all active duty. So to be a 42 Sierra, you have to become a full-time soldier. Now we're leaving the enlisted MOSs and taking a look at the commissioned officers with 42 Charlie, or band officers as they're otherwise known. Officers can be thought of as the Army's upper-level management. They command units. In the band context, that means the primary musical function of an officer is as a conductor, although officers can sometimes perform on their instrument or voice as well. Band officers are an extremely small force within the Army. They number around 22 or 23 soldiers in total, and they're exclusively active duty or full-time. As a general rule of thumb, military officers are required to hold a bachelor's degree. In the case of a band officer, you'll need to also successfully audition both as a conductor and on your instrument, and this is about as competitive as becoming a 42 Sierra. 42 Charlies can range in rank from second lieutenant or 01 to colonel or pay grade of 06. The path to their rank is a bit longer though. 42 Charlies enter basic combat training at specialist, the same as the other band MOSs. Then they'll go to Officer Candidate School or OCS at the pay grade of E6, wearing the Officer Candidate rank. After graduating from OCS, 42 Charlies are officially commissioned as second lieutenants. Band officers can serve in the premier bands at the U.S. Army School of Music or in certain regular active duty bands. If you do your entire career as a band officer, you're nearly guaranteed to see all three of those types of assignments. You just won't find 42 Charlies in the National Guard or the Army Reserve. Finally, we have 420 Charlies or Band Masters. Band Masters are what we call warrant officers or advanced career specialists in their field. Warrant officers rank above all enlisted soldiers but below all commissioned officers. In the context of the Army band field, there isn't a huge difference between what commissioned officers and warrant officers actually do. They both conduct and command band units and sometimes perform on their primary instrument or voice. The biggest differences between band officers and band masters are what units they can be attached to and the paths they take to achieve their statuses. 420 Charlie is the only MOS in the Army band field that you cannot start out with. Typically speaking, you have to reach a minimum of Sergeant or E5 on the National Guard and Army Reserve side or Staff Sergeant or E6 on the active duty side before sending in a packet to be able to attend Warrant Officer Candidate School or WOCS. There are other specific requirements, but the general idea is that you have to demonstrate your capacity to become a successful Army conductor after a few years of being a successful Army musician. Once a soldier completes WOCS, they are promoted to Warrant Officer 1. Furthermore, 420 Charlies are far more ubiquitous than 42 Charlies. Bandmasters are the only MOS that can be found in every possible category of band unit in the Army: regular active duty bands, special bands, Army Reserve bands, National Guard bands, and even the U.S. Army School of Music. Also, warrant officer ranks and pay grades are very to the point. Army bandmasters can range from Warrant Officer 1 or W1 to Chief Warrant Officer 5 or W5. Well, there you have it, the 4 band jobs in the United States Army. If you enjoyed this content, please help me out by leaving a like. If you really liked it, consider sharing it with a friend. And of course, feel free to comment with any questions or suggestions for future videos. See you next time.